Well, first couple of practices now in the books for new head coach Mike Vrabel. But of course, nothing new about the impact that he has had here with this franchise. Although now coach, just a little bit different in the role. We'll get into that here in a second. But look, I know it's hard for you to formulate opinions on guys and on units without getting real padded football going. But what have been your early impressions from this group?
Well, I mean, I think that they've tried to do the things that we've asked them to do as far as the way we want to practice and the urgency in which we want to move around the practice field. I thought that showed today. Just the structure of practice and the flow of it and getting guys on and off the field and not wasting any time. And again, the execution, some of it's going to be good and some of it's going to be, need to be improved. But I think the guys are working and we're heading in the right direction.
You mentioned structure. I think about that not just with having to pick a football team, but you and your staff, you in the front office, right? Your scouts, everyone like that. How's that structure coming along for you as you guys adapt to each other?
Good, really good. I think, you go through free agency, you go through the draft, and then, we'll have to have another conversation when it comes here to training camp and players that may be available or the ones that we, as we start to build this football team. So, it's early, but I think that there's been good energy. I think that the coaches are all understand what it is that we're trying to get done in the installation and how they will need to teach their guys. They've been around them all spring and now, a week here in the training camp.
Yeah, Coach, you're obviously such a big part of the early run of success this century for this franchise. How much did your experience here as a player now shape the way that you come back here as a head coach, and whether there were other influences that have kind of helped who you become as a head coach now?
A lot of influences. Yeah. I mean, I've been lucky to be around a lot of great coaches, a lot of great players that I've learned from. Try to take that everywhere I've been and formulate and obviously make that my own style. The history, we've talked about this. The banners in the stadium, those are great reminders of the blueprint and what it takes, but those aren't going to do anything to help us. We have to put the work in, and we have to understand what the plan is, and we have to build our own identity. But certainly those championships are great reminders.
You bring back Josh McDaniels to help tutor your offense and to help your young quarterback Drake Maye. But for me, it's two-part. One, Josh helping out Drake, but two, head coach quarterback relationship, because that's vital for any team. I don't care what side of the ball the head coach quote unquote comes from.
Yeah,
that relationship is paramount, and I know that you work hard on it.
Well, I think that I can provide just. That Josh is going to handle the details offensively and work with our offensive staff. And again, I'm just going to try to help Drake lead this football team and figure out the ways that he can do it best within his own personality and his own style. But understand he has to be an extension of me and the message and, the identity that we're trying to build. So it's been fun.
Have there been moments along the way that you can point to with Drake's growth in that respect in terms of leadership that kind of see that?
I think the more he becomes comfortable, and those show when we, going through a group period, and again, they're just trying to get it right, and, he'll say, hey, let's do it again, or, he's making the corrections before the coaching staff is. And so those are the things that you start to see. He's alerting things. He does a really good job of taking things that Josh and Ashton give him in the meeting and translating it to the field. And even in the walkthrough, like he's very intentional in the walkthrough, and he's using all those reps to help himself.
I know we all think that you guys, 24/7, 365, football, and it does dominate your lives. But you're human beings too. You're coming back to an area where you played, right? You and your family, you had all those things. Before you came to camp, after you got back, what's it been like getting back in the area? Because I'm sure there's some old friends ringing you up.
There is, and there's a lot of people in the building still, that were here when I was a player. And it is great, the community, they're sports fans, and so this has been fun. You know what you sign up for. Let me just say that. You know what you sign up for, and people they're hungry for us to win, and we're hungry to win for them.
Have you and your wife gone to one of your favorite places, and it's different now? Like it's not the same restaurant?
No, there's somebody who's stayed in a time warp. Like they've stayed pretty in a time warp, and they look the same as they did in 2008.
Yeah, and that's special as well. But Coach, on the defensive side of the ball, I know you're pretty hands-on there in general, but with Coach Coach Williams having to step away a little bit, now getting him back. Like, how have you kind of gauged the progress of that side of the ball over the last couple of months?
Well, again, right now we're all undefeated. But we're just continuing to build, working through the installation. We look at, the way that we're running to the football, the way that we're able to cover people without fouling, ball disruption, seeing guys use the right techniques, building a foundation. So, I think that we're heading in the right direction, but it's just you don't really know. And I like the energy. Again, there's guys that are excited to come out here and play defense on a practice field.
Coach, there's one other thing. Charles and I were talking about this a lot that has changed certainly since you were playing is the ability for fans and others to track certain parts of practice, to video certain parts of practice, have that talked about. Just from your perspective, because obviously you guys chart and watch everything anyway, like when does that sort of become relevant, for you guys as you get going in camp?
I think it always is relevant. I think, their ability to operate and function in a walkthrough, can they, they're making the same mistakes in a walkthrough, or can they get it corrected quickly? That's one area, coming out here on the practice field and doing it on a competitive level, and doing it repeatedly and stacking those reps together. And some of those guys that we've had out there that are doing that, and I recognize that, and I let them know, like, hey, this is where we kind of ran into a hiccup yesterday. Let's keep pushing through, and let's show up here at the end of practice.
Strange. So a training camp touchdown in the red zone, on a Saturday, not necessarily indicative of a Super Bowl run already. So
no,
despite what some might say.
We got a long way to go.
Thanks very much for spending some time here with us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Appreciate it.